Hello everyone and welcome back to Linguistics with Sam. Now today we are going to be looking at what is the sound producing system. So obviously last lesson we looked at articulatory phonetics and what is it, but now we have to actually look about how sound is actually produced. Now there is kind of two bits to this. You've got the sound producing system and then you've got the types of sound using the articulators, but today we're just looking at what the sound producing system is. Now, bearing in mind, I'm no specialist, I'm learning with you guys, okay? And I'm here to explain it, whilst also being clueless. Now, that's the fun of it. Right, the sound producing system. Air supply is provided by the lungs. So, obviously, we know respiration, we breathe in, oxygen goes to our lungs, we breathe out. Obviously, with this, air comes through as well. The sound source is the larynx, where a set of muscles called the vocal folds or cords are located. I call them folds, some people might call them cords. Don't want to be controversial, my favourite word, even though you can't really be controversial with phonetics. So basically the start of the sound production is in the larynx, and then the first set of modification is in the vocal folds or the cords. The tube of the throat between the oral cavity and the larynx is called the pharynx, which is the first filter of sound. Now this is just a small little box located near your larynx, which we'll look at in more detail soon. But yeah, the tube of the throat between the oral cavity, so the mouth where the articulators are, and the larynx, which is the beginning of the sound production. You've obviously got that little gap, and we call that the pharynx. Now, the oral cavity is the second filter, and the nasal cavity is the third filter. However, yet again, I said it last time, I don't hear much about the nasal cavity. I might, I don't know. Now, these are known as the vocal tract, so when you put the oral cavity together and the nasal cavity together, it creates the vocal tract. Now, as you see in the diagram here, we have the lungs, and then as the air moves upwards, it goes to the larynx where the vocal folds are, and straight after that you've got the pharynx, okay? And then sound goes to the oral cavity and the nasal cavity to be modified through its articulators.